Here is something you can't understand. How Batman can kill a man. What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you what's on my mind. And I have a little bit of time before I go to work, so I want to jump right into this. I want to talk about this topic about Zack Snyder addressing the issue of Batman killing and the pushback that he gets to this day from some fans with regard to Batman killing and Superman killing and things like that. And I will leave, of course, the article that I'm referring to in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. But in part, Zack Snyder's response is, grow the fuck up, basically. You know, he's telling people, what the fuck? People kill, and to think that Batman wouldn't kill or Superman or things like that would be naive, and that people are living in a fantasy world. You know, these are some things that he says. You can put it in context when you read the article. But look, to this I say, when I started noticing that Batman was killing and things like that, I remember the first time I saw it, in print, the first time I saw it on screen, certainly I was like, hey, wait a minute. He just killed. He murdered. What? You know what I mean? My understanding of Batman has always been this, right? That he exists because his parents were brutally murdered in front of him. All right, we're talking about Bruce Wayne now. He was so traumatized by the act of murder that he actually dedicated and interrupted his life forever to train to fight crime, but not just to fight crime. He needed something more. He needed to be able to be something of a criminal's nightmare. He needed to be able to terrorize them. You know what I mean? So it wasn't enough for him to be able to fight crime physically. He needed to strike terror in their heart. So it came to him to dress up like a bat. And my thing is, you can dress up like a bat to fight crime, or you can kill to fight crime. You can't dress up like a bat and kill to fight crime, because that makes you kind of almost as bad as the people that you're fighting. You know, it makes you, well, fucking crazy, number one. You dressed up like a bat and now you're going to go out and start killing people. You're just a vigilante with like some type of delusion going on where you're dressing up like a bat. You know what I mean? You look crazy, almost like the Joker, except you're killing what people think are the bad guys. So you would think that it's a little bit more acceptable, I guess. But to me, that's not supposed to be Batman's psychological makeup. You know what I mean? It's like, because he was so traumatized by the act of murder, I just can't see him accepting that he can kill people. I can see where it could come about, where it just happens or something, but it's not something that should be part of his regular routine, or acceptable for him, that he's going to be killing people. Like if someone gets killed in the process of him, like trying to apprehend or chase down a criminal, yeah, but I don't think that Batman would willingly choose to kill people. I think that would take him out of his character. I think it would take him out of his psychological makeup. I don't know if he was conceived that way. I've always had a problem with that. You know what I mean? Plus, coming from a law enforcement family, I've had my brother, who has since passed away. I love him very much and I miss him every day. He was on the job for over 20 years. I had my cousin who was on the job for over 20 years. My father, probably the better part of 30 years or so. All of these guys, plus so many of their friends, did decades on the job. True good guys in real life who never ever had to kill anyone. Excuse me, allergies. Never ever had to kill anyone or fire a gun. And that's not to take away from the officers on the job who have had to do that. Like I said, sometimes the circumstances will dictate that unfortunately, this is just what has to happen. You have to use lethal force. But Batman is a fictional character. Of course, he can be drawn any way that people want him to be. He could be transsexual next year if somebody wants to, conceive him that way, or put him out there on the page that way. So I'm not going to argue. I don't see it, man. It's like these are supposed to be superheroes. Anybody could kill. I could walk out that door right now and kill. You don't get into Batman. He's a detective. You don't read Batman just to see any old thing. You know, what's the difference between him and the Punisher? You know, the Punisher, of course, is supposed to be a killer. That's what he is. It's what he does. You know, he's blinded by rage. It's like with Batman, with Bruce Wayne, is something more. I don't think he would be honoring his parents, you know, Thomas and Martha, if he just grew up to kill knowing that they had been killed. You know, so I don't think it's a matter of being naive. I don't think it's a matter of living in a fantasy world. I think it's a matter of being in touch with the character and pondering, you know, what it means to be that little boy in that alley, to be a child of privilege, rich, you know, with no worries in the world, to suddenly have everything taken from you. You know, it's like, it's always been very interesting to me to think about that, you know, to think about Batman. I collected so many of his comics and, of course, you know, the movies and things like that. He's easily one of the most fascinating superheroes out there, you know, to me. You know, when I think about what would make an ordinary man do what he did, you know, to interrupt his life of privilege and wealth, to dress up like a bat and fight crime for his entire life, you know? And then you look at the implications, you know, would his relationship with Commissioner Gordon be the same if Batman were a killing vigilante? You know, what would his relationship with Alfred be? Like, I'm just talking about this like in real, you know, in real terms, even though we know it's a fictional character. Alfred would be an accessory to murder, you know, he would be an accomplice. You know, he involved a young boy, Robin. There are so many different ways I think that it shows that it goes wrong. It's just, to me, it always seemed like lazy writing to make Batman a killer. You know, like I said, it's up to the writer. They can make him whatever he wants. He's a fictional character. But I kind of feel like it's just lazy writing. He's the detective. You know, he's got his mind working for him. He's probably the greatest non-superpowered superhero there is. For you to just put a gun in his hand and just have him just busting off shots at dudes is just like I said, I just feel like it's lazy writing. So, you know, that's how I feel about it. That's my opinion on it. I know that it's been done before. You know, some people might like it. I don't know. But the darkness of Batman, unfortunately, I feel like has infected the DC universe up until now, because it seems like they're turning it around. Like I said before, Aquaman just showed me the direction that I always believed DC should be going in. You know, fun, fantasy. You know, Superman 2 was a great example. It's like, yes, we were all worried about, Superman and Clark Kent when he lost his powers, that he had to kneel before Zod, you know, and everything. But at the same time, it was still fun. And I think Shazam, I'm seeing all of the reviews that are coming back from those who get the early screenings. It seems like Shazam is a lot of fun, and it's great. Wonder Woman was a lot of fun. It's like Batman is going to be dark, you know, but all of these other characters in the DC stable, I do believe there's more of a lighthearted air about them, you know, where they go about telling their stories and things like that. And Batman doesn't have to be lethal. You know, the character is dark because of his origins and what he deals with crime and things like that. But I think our heroes, our superheroes, we tend to hold to a higher moral code, and they struggle with it. It's part of what makes them great. You know, it's not just that I'm just Captain Pureheart and I don't kill. No, it's like I dig deep down inside of me to come up with a solution whenever possible that doesn't conflict with my moral code. I struggle with this. It's character. But anyway, I got to get ready to go, guys. You can let me know in the comment section how you feel about this. You know, Batman killing, Superman killing, you know, things like that. Just, you know, like, how do you just feel about the concept of it? We all know that it's done, and it can be done depending on who the writer is and all that stuff. But what do you think about that? Batman killing and Zack Snyder's comments and all that. Get at me in the comment section. You can like, share, subscribe. Of course, I am on Twitter. And I will catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.